Today we're back with another TV deal experiment where we've given 5 individual teams a bumper TV deal. 1 from Germany, 1 from England, 1 from France, 1 from Italy, and 1 from Spain. They're all in the second tier. Who will do the best? Who will rise to the top? Who will be European champions? Time will tell. Let's go and see who we've chosen. So here we are then, ladies and gentlemen. We are back and it's the Sky Bet Championship up first and it's Norwich City. And here we go. If we look at the income, there it is, an individual £250 million per season TV deal. All the teams have exactly the same TV deal. So in England, it's Norwich City. In Spain, we've chosen Zaragoza. In Germany, we've chosen Hanover 96. Hopefully to the pleasure, Darkstar1, who has been pestering me to do something with Hanover 96 in the comments for quite a while now. So there you go. If you do want your teams to be featured in these kind of experiments, do please feel free to let me know in the comments. I do try and pander to people and, you know, choose teams based on recommendations. If it fits with an experiment, makes my life easy. Hanover 96. I wanted a second tier team in every division. Hanover were there. Easy choice for the Bundesliga. In Serie A, we have chosen Parma, who I kind of have a soft spot for because they were so good back in the day and they've fallen away. Parma are a team I'm considering doing my Wonder Kid wheel experiment for in Italy. And that's not to say I'm not going to do multiple in different nations, but I do feel that Parma in Italy is something that I'm going to go for. So, you know, put your Italian team suggestions in the comments as well for those kind of experiments. But yeah, Parma will be coming to another experiment at some point in the future. And finally, last but certainly not least, we've gone for AS Saint Etienne, who have won 10 Liga Uber Eats through the 50s, 60s, 70s, and at the start of the 1980s. But in more recent times, success has been, well, non-existent, really. They've not won anything in a long, long time. They've won Ligue 2 in 2004, but that is it. So hopefully they've got a little bit of money coming their way and they can rise and hopefully overthrow PSG. How will the money fare in each individual league? Obviously, each individual league will have different parameters of success. Now, I think Norwich are probably going to have the toughest time in the Premier League because £250 million in the Premier League doesn't go anywhere near as far as, say, in the French league or in Serie A, you know, because finances in those kind of leagues is far less. So I expect Norwich to probably do the worst. I think Parma might do the best actually, because with France and Germany, with Bayern Munich and PSG, they've got such a big team to overthrow. I feel that they're going to be up in and amongst it, but maybe not quite becoming dominant. Whereas in Italy, and again, Barcelona and Real did in Spain, Zaragoza are going to have a hard time. I think whilst AC, Inter, Juve, you know, they've got a lot of good teams in Italy. No one's like clearing away, like, completely dominant. So I feel like Parma have probably got the edge at this early juncture. But of course, we have a lot of years to get through. So without further ado, let's start jumping through. And how far are we going to go through at this first juncture? I think we're probably going to go, should we just go straight up 10 years? Yeah, let's go to 2033. Deciding this on the fly. Let's go. Okay, so we're 10 years into the future. And as you can see, the Premier League has been, well, Tottenham won it in 23-24. Graham Potter's in charge of Tottenham now. They've got a lot of money as well. Man City have won the league every year. Arsenal, apart from the first season, Arsenal have come second every single season apart from 25-26. And then Spurs, Chelsea and Liverpool and Tottenham Arsenal, City, third once each. Tottenham a couple of times. Chelsea and Liverpool 3 apiece. So the Premier League is pretty much as is. And as you can see, there is no noted team. There is no yellow dots. There is no Norwich City, which is very, very disappointing. We have been promoted in 27-28. And look who it is. It's only Jindrik Tripasovsky. Easy to say his name because I've done it before in an experiment. Was it Wrexham? Spin the Wheel? I think it was. If you've not seen it, go and check out the Spin the Wheel Wrexham video. Hell of a lot of fun. £365 million in the bank, £76.5 million to spend, 106 remaining. Excuse me. Let's have a look how they've been doing then. Domestic leagues. Right, they've just come down. They've just been relegated in this most recent season. So let's have a look then. So from the beginning, 13th in the first season, then they won it the second season. Then 13th, then 20th in the Premier League, back down. But won championship at 16th and 18th, then down in the championship, finishing 3rd, then 2nd, getting promoted, back down by finishing 19th, and currently in 13th. So sold. So in terms of the squad, how are they spending their wages? They're spending £190,000 a week on these guys, Adrian Bernabe and Liam Bosmans. Transfer listed by request for £48 million. You know what? He's not excessive. I feel like it's slightly excessive, some of these wages, but he's not too severe. But they've been yo-yoing around, much like Norwich City do in real life. So the money has made maybe a little difference up to this point. So, as I said, Norwich probably going to have a tough time of it. I'm correcting that notion. Serie A. Well, Parma are here in Serie A. The past winners, let's have a look. We've got, much of a muchness. I've neglected to mention Napoli at the start of the experiment, but of course, Napoli are there, Fiorentina, Lazio, Roma as well. A lot of big teams. So Parma, how are Parma doing? Robbie Keane's in charge of Parma. He's been here for 5 years. Bloody hell. Right, here we go then. So they came up, they won Serie B the first season, then they were in Serie A for 2 years, came back down, then they won Serie B again, and they've been here ever since. So they've done very well indeed. They've only got £13 million in the bank. Why is that then? They've got the TV deal. The TV deal's renewing. Where is all their money going? They're not even spending loads on wages. I didn't check the debts to begin with. They've still got about £80 million worth of debt. I'm wondering if that's going to be where a lot of the money's gone. But £2.5 billion has come into the club. How much have they spent? Negligible amounts. Very negligible amounts for Serie A. Yeah, for getting £250 million a season, they've really not spent a lot at all. 84 million in that season there. But that's probably the biggest season. So I'm not sure where all the money's going. Again, they're not spending massive amounts of wage. We've only seen £1.5 million per week. £125,000 on Caleb Okoli. Probably not worth that, really. He's 31 years old as well. Ciro Di Martino. He's quite a good player. 105k a week. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. But yeah, again, nothing really happening in this opening 10 years. Spanish First Division. Well, Zaragoza, we're not even ticked over. Zaragoza finished mid-table. And previous winners, Real Madrid and Barcelona have been winning. Of course they have. Back and forth between them. Atletico Madrid basically dominating the third position. Sevilla taking it on 3 occasions. Atletico Madrid on 7. Zaragoza then, they have £130 million in the bank. They are currently managerless. Robbie Keane's been the manager here as well. Bloody hell. Robbie Keane's got around, hasn't he? Gone from one team to another with a TV deal. Again, so it took them, the first season they came up via some sort of playoff, I guess, 3rd place. Then he came straight back down, finishing 20th. Then they finished 6th, then 1st. So they came up as champions. And they've been here ever since, finishing lower mid-table, basically. 10th, this is their best season so far, with their only season so far in the top division with a positive goal difference of 1. Again, in terms of finances, they're spending not loads. Again, not tons of money. Actually spending almost nothing. So where is all their money going? Again, £80 million debt, not loads of debt. So I'm unsure where all the money's going. And they're not even spending loads on wages. £57,000 a week is their highest paid player. They're not even spending £1 million a week. 840k. That's less than £52 million a year. Probably less than 50, actually. Yeah, well, easily less than 50. And they're getting an extra 200 million. So don't know where this money's going. Bundesliga, Hannover 96 are in the Bundesliga. Bayern Munich have won it every single season. Dortmund have finished won it once. Hannover, though, are the first team to start to break into that upper echelon. Twice they finished 3rd, twice they finished 2nd, and that's all in the last 4 years. So it's gone 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, 2nd, breaking into that top tier of teams of Leipzig, Dortmund, Bayern Munich. So Hannover 96. Who's been in charge of Hannover? Thiago Motta, Sergio Conceição, Dieter Flick, Jardim. No Ralph. We're looking for a Ralph. We're hoping for a Ralph. £409 million in the bank, so they've got a bit of money. They've got £146 million in the budget. They finished 4th 2 seasons in a row to begin with domestically. Then they won the Bundesliga 2, and since then they've come up. They finished 15th in that first season. Then they got 6th, 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, 2nd. So once they got into the Bundesliga, one season where they were just avoiding relegation, then bang, straight into the European places. And they spent £35 million from Bundesliga 2. Then £56 million from Bundesliga 2. So they were spending big. And then they spent £258 million as they got into the Bundesliga. Matthias França, Chadi Riyad, who's still here. Anton Stach, who's actually left now, but he Well, £42 million, good player. Thiago Santos, yes, they spent big. They spent very big. £96 million again. Schlederup came in. Callum Doyle from Norwich. Angelo from Chelsea. Malo Gusto from Chelsea as well. Junior Krupi from Lorient. He's still here at 27 years young on £750,000 a week. So this is what's confusing me now. So Hector Fort as well from Sevilla. Very good player. 205 million there. Benjamin Fark from Stuttgart for £64 million. He's a regen. Not a bad regen as well. Another £256 million. Asan Udrago from Chelsea. Yeah, another £108 million. So they're spending huge. They're spending absolutely massive wages. Spending masses on transfers and on wages. This is what I don't get. So they've got £409 million in the bank because they're getting £250 million per season, right? They're spending about that on transfers. They're spending £7 million a week on wages at the moment. So that's £350 million a year. And they've still got all that money in the bank when we've just seen Norwich, Parma and Zaragoza have got sod all. So work that one out. And Saint Etienne are in League Uber Eats, and they've been finishing second a lot behind PSG. So they are literally there or thereabouts already. 5 times they finished second. Weirdly, in the last 2 seasons, they've finished outside the top 3. So they've not done great. Unai Emery's in charge. We'll check in on the managers in a moment. So 8th in the first season in Ligue 2. Sorry, no, second, promoted in the first season. Then he finished 11th, then bang, straight up into it. Unai Emery's in charge. He's been there for 91 days. Olivier Dall'Oglio was manager for basically the entirety of this. De Zerbi came in and got sacked. He finished 4th, then 6th in the last 2 seasons, which is not great. In terms of finances, there you go, 250 million as they came up, 129 million. So these two, again, over 100 million nearly every season. 82 million here is a very, very low total. Their lowest so far. 82 again, then 107, 77, 51. Present day, they have spending £6.5 million. They've got £34 million in the bank, spending 6.5 per week in wages. Big wages over here for some of these players. That's what you got to do. So nothing's been won so far, or certainly no leagues anyway. Has anyone won any cups? The English FA Cup has not been won by Norwich. I mean, it's been won by Crystal Palace. John Terry in charge, as you do. You got a tycoon? No tycoon. Got promoted from the Championship as he came runners-up for the FA Cup. He won the FA Cup. The season after got relegated from the Premier League. DFB Pokal in Germany. Hanover runner-up in 27-28 to Dortmund, but they haven't won it. Italian Cup. Parma nowhere to be seen. Spanish Cup. Again, it's just Real Madrid and Barcelona. No Zaragoza. And Saint Etienne have won a cup in 26-27 season. So the first trophy of this experiment goes to Saint Etienne in France. Or does it? Is there a Champions League on the horizon? Hanover runner-up in the 30-31 season to Arsenal. OGC Nice winning in 29-30. You don't see that every day. No one's won a Europa League. And Hanover also came runner-up in the Conference League to Spurs in 28-29. So Saint Etienne are currently the only team with a trophy, but Hanover do seem to be the team that are on the edge of greatness. They've come run up in the Bundesliga. They've come run up in the Champions League. I think Hanover are probably going to be the first team to win something, but the next 10 years could be a complete flip reversal blazing squad star. So let's go forward to 2043 and see how the next 10 years fare. And it's always interesting to look at the shortlist, isn't it? And as you can see here, the best player in the world at the moment is a 195 current ability Turkish player, Sabrikan Varane for Bayern Munich, and he looks like an absolute badass. Wanted by AC Milan. No players for any of our teams, though, as we're scrolling down. It's taking a hell of a long time. No one even in the 170s. Jesus. Well, this has gone badly, hasn't it? Premier Division. Norwich are here. Tottenham have been on an absolute tear as of Man City. West Ham run up the last couple of seasons. Arsenal, nowhere to be seen. There is Norwich. £166 million in the bank. In terms of domestic leagues then, how are Norwich doing? Well, we were last here in 2033 and unfortunately we went down. We then came up via the playoffs 2 seasons later, and fortunately we have managed to maintain ourselves in the last 7 years. 8 years? 7 years. 2035-36 it was 17th, then it's starting to creep up to mid-table. 15th there, but mid-table, 3 9th place finishers. So we're starting to get a little foothold in the Premier League with Norwich. Spending £5 million on wages, £166 million in the budget. Starting to spend over £100 million, spending quite big. Still not spending, £200 million here in the 36-37 season. So yeah, they're doing all right. They're spending spending reasonably big most of the time. Getting a lot of money in, though, as well. So, not, £100 million profit in this season. Last couple of seasons, they've not spent a lot. In terms of the squad, then, and 150s and 140s, paying £300,000 a week, £200,000+ a week. Not great, to be honest. Not great at all. Disappointed, Norwich. I'm very disappointed in your current. Very disappointed so far, Norwich. 20 years and fuck all to show for it. Let's go to Serie A. Oh, Jesus Christ. I've just said how disappointed I am with Norwich, and Parma have got relegated. Bloody hell. Competitions. It's the first time we've gone down. Oh my God. We've gone down. And we've been slipping. Well, actually, we're 15th 3 seasons in a row. Mid to lower mid-table. Or, how much money have you got? £12 million in the bank. Is this only spending £1 million? Right. There's going to be nothing in the transfers either. 2.5 million, 35, 6.25k, 185k. Right. Unless Parma have a 150,000 capacity stadium, 22,000. No. Where's their money going? What's happening with their money? I do not understand what's gone on here. Finances, debts. Where's this come from? Why have they got another? This debt's bigger than before. They've just taken out a loan of £194 million in 2038, 5 years ago, for 25 years. Income. Still there. Still there. What is happening with Parma? There's always one team, isn't there, that it just goes a bit awry. Today it's Parma. Disappointed. Relegated. Well, I think Hanover might have done something, so we're going to wait and going to come back to them. We're going to go to the Spanish division first, and we're going to go to Zaragoza, who have finished 12th. Again, mid-table, past winners here. Girona are breaking into it, but nothing happening for Zaragoza. Let's have a look. Competitions. Mid-table, a couple of European qualifications, but it's basically mid-table. They've got £4 million in the bank, spending £1 million a week. Where's all their money going then? Again, Italy and Spain, it's just not happening for them, this TV deal, is it? I'm not sure why. At least Norwich are spending, but because the Premier League has got so much money in it, that's why it's not really coming to fruition. You would have thought Italy and Spain might have had a bit more about them with it. France, for the past winners, well, Saint-Etienne have finished second and third. Saint-Etienne have regressed. The last 10 years, they finished second once, finished third a few times. Robbie Keane again! Robbie Keane! Robbie Keane's been here for 10 years. Robbie Keane is going through all the teams, right? So he's got... Who's he managed? Sorry, Robbie Keane. Let's click on him. Zaragoza, Parma, and Saint-Etienne. So he needs to do Norwich and Hanover to complete the set. Can Robbie Keane do a Glory Hunter challenge of sorts? I mean, he's not won anything. He's 62 as well, so by the time we come back, he'll probably be gone. The Saint-Etienne, yeah, second and third. Fifth a couple of times and fourth a couple of times. They're up there. They're qualifying for Europe, so can't complain. £160 million in the bank, spending £6 million a week on wages. And again, so their spending's been a bit more muted. A couple of seasons over 100 million, but quite often, only 40, 50, 60 million. There you go. Basically buying as much as they're selling in this season, even though it's 96. They sold £89 million worth of talent. So Saint-Etienne, yeah, it's disappointing. Right. We're going to go and check in on the European trophies in a few moments, but let's go and have a look at the Bundesliga. Can Hanover have won the Bundesliga? Please. Yes, they have. They've won 2, you can see back here. So let's go and have a look. They've won 3, actually. The first season we were back. The first season after we were last here, Hanover went and won the league. So they finished third, second, first, second, third, second, first, second. And the most recent season, outside of the top 4. Miguel Angel Ramirez is still in charge. He's been here for 13 years. He's won the DFB Pokal as well. We'll go and check on the Cups in a moment. Most recent season, they finished 6th. That's very, very poor considering where they are and where they're at. £972 million in the bank. I don't get it. Yes, they're getting more money competition-wise for finishing high up in the leagues, but they're spending £6 million a week, £6.5 million a week on wages. That's over £300 million. That's all of TV money that's coming in. What they're spending on transfers. Again, it's probably been a bit more muted. Still over 100 million in a few of the seasons, though. 178 million there. Oh, I don't know. I just don't get how the TV deal thing's working at this juncture. So there you go. DFB Pokal then. Hanover have won it 1, 2, 3 times and come runner-up 3 times in the last decade. So 6 times they've got to the final. Fair play. The FA Cup. Norwich have actually won an FA Cup. Excuse me, I said I was disappointed in Norwich. Well, they've actually won a trophy, the FA Cup. Fair play to them. So they would have got into Europe from that as well. So yeah, a bit of European football. The Italian Cup, no chance of Parma won the Italian Cup. Of course they haven't. The Spanish Cup, Zaragoza have come runner-up 2 seasons in a row. And the French Cup, Saint Etienne have actually won the French Cup as well. Right, Champions Leagues then. We've had a runner-up for Hanover, 2 runner-ups now, another runner-up the season they won the league. There's still no still no Champions League for any of our teams. Have we got a European Cup here? No, not even a final in the Europa League. But we do have a Conference League. The first European trophy won is by Norwich City. So I proclaimed my disappointment before the horrendous disappointment of Parma, and Norwich have actually won an FA Cup and a bloody Conference League. So, well, excuse me, Norwich City. I do apologise. You have done far better than I gave you credit for. Burnley have won the Conference League back here as well. Fair play. De Zerbi's in charge of Austria. Ralph Hasenhüttl was in charge for 3 years. Can't click on him. Don't know where he went. So he's probably been somewhere. Should have clicked on and done something. And got to checked in on him earlier. Should we go and check in on him? Let's go back to 2033. Right, so Ralph Hasenhüttl is currently... was the manager of Austria, then Brighton, got sacked, Al Hilal, and now he's the manager of Croatia. Okay, right, so we're going to go forward now, 2053. This will be our third jump of 10 years, and the whole experiment is just north of 50 years. I think it's 51 years, and as you can see, the game time, the experiment time, simulation, at 30 years is over 10 hours with all the leagues I've got loaded. So, in the year of 2053, the best player in the world is Sammy McHenry for Arsenal, a 197. A very good player indeed. But again, no one. Oh, here we go. Hanover. Jesus Alvarado, 174. Oh dear, it's disappointing. The Premier Division then. Norwich are there, thankfully. Not even in the top 3. £81 million in the bank, spending £4.5 million in wages. Domestic leagues, they've been down in the Championship again. Oh, they've yo-yoed a bit. Oh, they've been... Oh, again, they've regressed. Again, they've regressed. The squad, spending big on average players. Again, looking through their transfer dealings, they're not actually spending massive amounts of money. So where this money's going, I don't know. I guess it's just on wages, and it's just being competitive in the Premier League is an expensive time. Well, there we go then. Tottenham are winning a lot of Premier Leagues. Oh, Parma aren't even in the league. Oh, we're getting promoted. We're getting promoted. Hey. Oh, so we came straight back, actually. We won the league in the 43-44 season. And we've been mid to lower mid-table all the way through. And then we came down and we're now going back up. £14 million in debt. Just not spending money at all. I just don't understand what's happened. So we're just going to leave that. Spain, Zaragoza getting Europa League football. Yeah, nothing happening really in terms of top 3. Let's have a look at their competitions and previous positions. Yeah, Europa League football. It's probably as good as they've finished, really. 6th. They've done it once back here in 40-41, but again, mid-table, lower mid-table a couple of times. Disappointing. Once again, we're going to wait and go to... we're going to go to the Bundesliga. So Hanover are the current champions. The current champions, they finished 2nd 3 seasons in a row before that. 3rd a few seasons before that, but they've actually not won it for a good few seasons since we last saw in 2040-41. But over a decade without winning it. 1.1 billion in the bank. The season budget of over £300 million. £8 million wages they can spend, spending just under 6. Again, they've got some big players on big wages. And again, their transfer dealings has been somewhat muted. They've actually been almost breaking even most seasons. Maybe not in more recent time, but again, 146 spent, 118 back in. So they're selling as much as they're buying. Saint Etienne have won League 3 times in a row in the 40s, between 47 and 50. And they came 2nd. And again, where are they now? Ronnie Edwards is in charge. Peterborough defender. He's been manager of Norwich as well. Manager of loads of teams. 3 wins for Saint Etienne anyway. Robbie Keane was here for 11 years, then got sacked. So who's doing better, Hanover or Saint Etienne? It's a 2-horse race. I think we're going to know who's doing better. The Champions League. Well, no one's bloody won it. No one's even come runner-up. 3 in a row for Spurs. Hanover runner-up to Como in the Europa League. And no one's won a Conference League since Norwich. Awful. I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed indeed. 2063 then. Penultimate stop. Wow. We've got a 200 out of 200 current ability player, 25 years old, Sinister Dokic. Fairly professional, playing for Stuttgart. Unbelievable. Second best player in the world, Franco Davino for West Ham. Let's go to the Premier Division then. No one in the top there. Finally, Conference League football for Norwich after 40 bloody years. Borja Aviles, second top goal scorer. I mean, obviously, you've got to be second because first position, that's where Tom goes. Okay, tough crowd. United 15th. Lincoln getting relegated. Disappointing yet. Not so disappointing for Tom FM. Be quite happy that they got there. Bristol City in 4th. Didn't even realise that. What's happened to Bristol City? What a Barnet. What a moustache. What a look. Tycoon. Oh, they've had tycoons. Bristol City have had tycoons. Okay, so Norwich City. £17 million in the bank. Been in the Premier League, mid-table. Just breaking into the top half now. Getting a bit of European football. The squad is... I mean, Borja Aviles is just... He's on a lot of money. He's just finished second top goal scorer in the Premier League, though, so... Is he worth it? I mean, if you're getting the money, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Serie A. Where on earth are Parma? 8th in Serie B. No money in the bank. Yeah. I mean, fine. They've yo-yoed. Right, I don't care. Spanish. Zaragoza, 11th. Not even finishing the top 3 once. Again, they're having a bit of a time with the finances, so can't really blame them, but a bit disappointing. It's a bit disappointing, to be honest. I don't quite understand what's happening. Bundesliga. Hanover 96 have... They were champions last time, and they won it again, and that's the only times they've won it. They've finished second a hell of a lot. 1.1 billion in the bank. No Champions Leagues. £400 million in the transfer budget. Again, they're recouping more than they're spending at this moment in time. Why? What are you doing? Ingo Agathan. Been here a couple of years. Won DFB Pokal. Well done. Liga. Right, Saint Etienne. A couple more for them. A few more runners up. £105 million in the bank. I don't know how the Germans have got over £1 billion. They do have a lot of TV money, to be fair, in Germany. Yeah, a few wins, few seconds. So Liga doing all right. Right. Champions League. No one's won a Champions League. West Ham have won a couple. 3. Como won 1. Hanover, here we go. 2061, 62. Runner up. Run up in Europa League the season before. Run up in Europa League in 2049-50 as well. Conference League. Zaragoza runner up twice. The only European trophy we've won is Norwich. Up to this point. We've won domestic leagues in Germany and France. But it's been a bit of a shambles so far. Right, let's go to the end. 2074, be 51 years in. That is the final stop. How we win a European trophy? We've got another 200 out of 200. It's Herman Franzen for Liverpool. A resolute player. 24 years young. Again, looking at this first, it's two for Girona in a row. 1 for Bristol City, 1 for West Ham, but none of our teams up here. Premier Division then, mid-table, 13th for Norwich. Brentford have won a Premier League. Man City have been on a decade of dominance. Nothing for Norwich. Oh, they've won. Oh, hang on. They've won a Carabao Cup in 2067, another Conference League in 2067, and a Europa League in 2070. Okay, so we've won something. So competitions. So domestic leagues. Norwich. As high as 4th there. Low mid-table. Bottom half of the table. Dismal. Spain. Zaragoza getting Conference League football. Never even finished in the top 3. Yeah, and we'll just quickly look. Nothing really to speak of. Yeah. Let's go and do Serie A. Let's just be disappointed by Parma. Still not even in Serie A. Going up, right, getting promoted again. Hey. Oh, crap. It's been Serie B most of the time. Liga Uber Eats, right, Saint Etienne have won, in the last decade? 5 of 10. First, second and third all the seasons. So Saint Etienne, I think, have won the most domestic leagues. Hanover have won another one. Another one. That's 6 in this experiment so far for Hanover. Saint Etienne, 10. So domestic leagues, Saint Etienne have taken it ahead of Hanover. But we're going to look at Champions Leagues. 3 in a row for AC Milan. West Ham have won back here as well. That's 4 for West Ham in the experiment. No one's won a Champions League. Norwich have won a Europa League. And that's it. Bristol City run up 3 seasons in a row. Unlucky. And Norwich have also won another Conference League. So that's 2 Conference Leagues and a Europa League for Norwich. 10 domestic leagues for Saint Etienne and 6 domestic leagues for Hanover. So Saint Etienne have won it, right? I don't think a Europa League's enough for Norwich to even claim. They never won a Premier League. They've won an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup. Get out of here. I'm not even looking at domestic cups for the other 2 because I think they probably won quite a few more. I think on the whole, Saint Etienne win. Second place, Hanover. Despite not winning a European trophy, they have come runner up a lot. Hanover, and they've won domestic leagues. Norwich in third with the European trophies. Fourth, Zaragoza, because they are at least in the top division and they have come runner-up in a couple of tournaments. Parma, bottom of the table. There you go. There's the order. 1 to 5. I think you'll all agree. So, shall we have a quick look on the European Football Championship? Who's been winning internationally? No one out of the ordinary. Switzerland in the first season, actually. To be fair, that is out of the ordinary. Then we've got France, Spain, France, Belgium, France, Portugal, France. Portugal, Germany, England, Spain, Spain. We've had Czechia, Scotland, Sweden, Croatia, all being runners-up on the way to the present day. The World Cup is currently being held by Spain, and Spain have won 3, 4, 5 in this experiment. 2 for Netherlands, 1 for Belgium, 1 for Portugal, and 2 for France. Greece, Uruguay, Mexico, Wales, Austria, all runners-up on the way, but they've never actually managed to win the trophy. So that's it then. That's the end of this finances experiment. We need to understand why Spain and Italy failed. Does anyone know why? Let me know in the comments down below. I need to do some tweaking. I'd love to do this again. If you want me to do this again, but with different teams, and we try and do some different parameters to try and enforce that all the teams get the money and all the teams start doing as well as each other, let me know your thoughts and insights as to why things might have gone wrong. I'll have a little think as well. Let me know some teams you'd like me to do this with. I do always have a bit of fun with these ones. They are very enjoyable. I do enjoy making them. And they are quite relatively low admin to set up. Just a long sim time. But regardless of whether it's difficult to set up or easy to set up, I'm always happy to make the experiments because at the end of the day, I have fun doing it. So let me know in the comments, like I say, teams, thoughts on this one, and like and subscribe while you're here. Most importantly though, take good care of yourselves. I'll see you soon.